Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new LEGO Thor Love and Thunder set, one of my favorite Marvel sets of all time. Now this is one of two sets, however we're not going to take a look at the other one on this channel because it is a waste of money. This is set number 76208, the Goat Boat, with 564 pieces. This set retails for $49.99 USD or $50 and has 4 phenomenal minifigures and then one so-so minifigure along with 2 really great goat builds. Please do not ask me for their names. I cannot pronounce them. I know they translate to Teeth Snarler and Teeth Grinder, but I cannot pronounce the Norse names. We're going to take a look at all 5 of those minifigures and the 2 characters first before moving on to the build of the set, which is honestly probably one of the greatest LEGO Marvel builds that I've seen in recent years. Guys, it's finally happened. It might have only taken like 30 sets and 4 years, but LEGO has finally redesigned Stormbreaker. And it still sucks. Don't get me wrong, I love this new design for Stormbreaker. I think it is 1,000 times better than the actual trash LEGO's been giving us since Infinity War, but I still think there's room for improvement. It really should be using a lightsaber handle, blade rather, as the base here because it's a very tall and thin weapon, and they keep making it kind of short and stubby. Like, Stormbreaker should be a lot longer. Like it's a long axe, not like a short and stubby one. I do think this piece, the really cool like fez one they've been using, works so much better for the back than just like a stud does. Really love that improvement, don't get me wrong. And this is definitely a step in the right direction. Like, kudos to LEGOs for doing the redesign, but there's still a little bit of improvement that needs to be done. That being said, taking that away, let's look at just the Thor minifigure himself. And this is honestly one of the best Thor minifigures we've ever gotten. Not only is it incredibly accurate, it's just really beautiful. Also, this brand new hairpiece here, Qui-Gon Jinn's, works so well in this color for Thor. I don't know why we haven't gotten this before, but this is like perfect. And then pulling it off, this is actually the same face included in the Thor's hammer set, which makes no sense. Not for here. It works here. It just doesn't work in that set. And on the back, we have some really nice lightning eyes, a really upset, angry face. Really love that. And then this is actually the junior style cape with only one hole. Pulling that up, you can see there's a little bit of back printing. Not terribly much, but enough that it's really detailed. A really cool belt there as well. I like the bare arms aesthetic. Works really well for Thor. And his smiling face with the hair matches really well with the actual hairpiece. And like I said before, the printing on his toes, on his hips, it's just so continuous and just truly a beautiful minifigure. One of the biggest draws to both this set and the $20 set is the Mighty Thor Jane Foster minifigure. Now, I think this is a missed opportunity to redo the Mjolnir mold here. I think it definitely should have been recolored, dual molded for the hilt, or at least give it some printing to show the cracks on it, because this is the same hammer they've been giving Thor since 2012. And it's obvious from both the box art and the trailer and everything that it's not the same hammer. There's like a ton of cracks in it and it looks completely different. So I think LEGO really missed the mark to redesign it. Ultimately though, that doesn't really matter because the Jane Foster minifigure is just phenomenal. She's got a brand new hair hat combo there with some really cool printing on it as well. And pulling that off, you can see it's really nice and dual molded and has some very nice hair in the back. She's got a really good face that works very well for Natalie Portman. Same cape as Thor's, the junior style. Pulling that up gives you a little bit of the back printing there, some belt designs and some nice little lines, nothing too detailed. However, on the front, I really love how it's like the same style as Thor, but just it's still her own unique thing. Really nice how they integrate the black torso into the brown legs. It looks like it actually flows and there's no like disjointed printing there. The plain arms and the gloves work really well for her minifigure, and I really love her facial expression. I think when you cover up her eyes with the mask and everything, that looks perfect, and I'm really excited to see her in live action. While I wasn't the biggest fan of the idea originally, because I thought it was just going to be a funky gender swap, the way they're portraying this in both the sets and the trailer, it makes me even more excited now. Just like with Stormbreaker, it took 4 sets and as many years to finally get a semi-decent Valkyrie minifigure. While the other ones weren't terrible, this is the only one that looks honestly accurate to what we see on screen, and I'm so impressed with it. First off, the brand new hairpiece here, I believe this might have been used before, but it's certainly the first time I'm ever getting it in my collection, and I love it. It works so well for her because that really weird, funky, bald one they gave to Taserface and her just never works. Like, she has so much more hair than that piece gives her credit for, and this finally looks good. Also, the full-size blue cape works really well for her character, like that so much better than the half one they used to give her. And also the printing here, while it's not her white uniform, uniform, it's still super close and way better than the funky armor they've been giving her. It's so much more detailed, and just the printing is gorgeous. And we have the elements of the white designs coming down even onto the feet there. Just works really well. Again, she has the bare arm treatment, which makes sense because she's got to be able to move them to swing her sword and everything. The sword is nothing too special. It's the same weapon she's been getting for a while now, but I don't really care. The weapons aren't really what does it for me for this figure. It's just the printing. And she's got a brand new facial print as well that finally doesn't have the scrapper marks. I don't know why every single iteration of her figure has used the scrapper marks. Pulling up her cape, which is also the junior style, you can see on the back that she's got some really nice back printing there. Looks a lot better than either of the two Thor minifigures, but still just a really great character. King Valkyrie here. Also, love that it's King Valkyrie, not Queen Valkyrie. And I'm just in love with the design for this figure. I've wanted a decent Valkyrie for so long now, and we finally have one. Probably the least exciting aspect of the set to me is going to be the Gore minifigure here. Well, I definitely think he's better than the Gore one. It also doesn't really do much for me considering we just got a perfect Gore minifigure in the Thor battle pack. I mean, Avengers in Endgame battle pack, but like, this is a perfect Korg. This one is decent and is very accurate to what we see in the trailer for his like design in the Thor movie. It's just like, I've never seen a movie with him looking like that, and I've seen 2 movies with him looking like the other version. So like, this one is not like oh my gosh, it's Korg. It's more like, oh yeah, it's Korg. His weapon's pretty interesting. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Some kind of nice club thing. His legs are gray, not his rock blue, which is a little weird. Like, I know he's wearing pants and all, but from like the sides and the back, it just kind of looks funky. The fur collar was a very, very nice touch, and I love that they're still using the same kind of face and head mold for him. I mean, it works. There's no need to change it. And the printing for his torso looks really great. I love that giant ram belt buckle, and the colorful pants are very accurate to what we see in the trailer. Pulling off his little head thing there, you can see he's got a smiling face here, and an even happier, kind of wider smiling face on the other side, along with some really nice back printing that has some cool straps, along with a really nice belt. It's a really good minifigure and very, very accurate. Easily the most disappointing aspect of the set is going to be the Gore minifigure. For the main villain of the movie, he looks like crap. Now, his torso is honestly pretty great, and the symbiote sword, that's really cool. I really love, like, it's almost black, but it's like dark gunmetal gray there. Looks really, really cool. The facial print is great on gray there, accurate skin color, really nice eyes and printing, and I love the fact that, like, his printing continues into the back here. He's got some really nice robe designs. The only problem is, like, he's so plain, and he just looks like when you compare him, like, ordinarily, this would be fine. And while this would be a decent minifigure normally, I mean, considering, like, you have this Thor and, like, this Jane, like, everyone is decked out to the nines, leg printing, torso printing, new molds, like, new designs, like, he just feels so plain by comparison, especially when 2 pieces could literally change this minifigure. I mean, look at that. Just 2 pieces, really simple ones, and all of a sudden this minifigure looks 10 times better. The face looks really cool, kind of shadowed in the white hood, and you can't really see the bald head, which looks kind of out of place with all the other minifigures. And the cape kind of cloak thing just puts him, you know, accurately in the lineup with all the other Asgardians and everything, because they all have big capes, and he just looked kind of naked without it, especially considering he doesn't have any leg printing. There are 2 goats included in the set. So here we have Teeth Snarler and Teeth Grinder. I'm not sure which is which. I know nothing about them because I haven't seen the movie yet, obviously. And while I maybe would have preferred molded or slightly more mature looking builds, these are super, super cute. And I love the fact that the faces are printed, not stickers. This one is super expressive. Honestly, the white one's my favorite just because he has ears and the brown one doesn't. Which is kind of like, why don't you give one ears and the other, whatever. Also, the face here is just, I love the tongue sticking out. This one's a lot more like regal and, you know, like official looking. This one's like, oh, I just want to have fun. And the design is really nice. They have a weird hole in them, which is kind of funky until you kind of attach them to the chariot, then it becomes not an issue. And then there's a sticker on top for each of them to kind of give them some really nice fur designs. And I love how all the legs are posable. You can like stand him up, you know, attacking things. Like, they're really, really great builds. And I really think that they could have been a lot worse. And while they're not the best part about this set, they're definitely not the worst. And I really do like the way they kind of ended up. And they got a huge, oh, they're so cute from Eli. So, I mean, that obviously makes them a winner in my book. With all the characters out of the way, we're left with just the goat boat. Now, this boat is truly something spectacular. It's really nicely weighted, and you have a really great way to hold it and swoosh it through the air. And there's some really great kind of playability with this set. Up in the front is where the goats are attached. We have the 2 of them, again, Not going to say their names, but they're attached very simply using just this Technic piece. The goats have kind of holes in their sides, and they're just slotting onto these pole connections very, very simply, and there's no printing or anything on this connection piece. It's just there to kind of hold the goats in. With that out of the way, though, we're able to take a closer look at the boat. And what a spectacular boat it is. First off, the color is really, really great. I love the way this looks. I'm glad they didn't go with just the traditional wooden design. This kind of sets it apart from all the other boats. And also the fact they included 8 shields. I mean, they are stickers, which are tiny bit unfortunate, but the fact they still included them lining the sides is wonderful. Very accurate to what the boat actually looks like in both the movie and in like mythology and history. And they're just like really, really cool weapons to give to your minifigures. There are 4 stickers on the sides here. We have the Aegir New Asgard Tours, and then I guess that's the license plate number for the boat, and those stickers are represented on the other side. The boat is basically completely symmetrical. We have another sticker right here, just giving a little more detailing to the top of the dragon head, which is made really, really well. There's actually 2 dragon heads, and there's a little gap between them. There's also a droid arm connection here to hold the new Stormbreaker build. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm presuming you kind of attach Stormbreaker here to open the Bifrost, so you can have this boat travel the universe and everything. Although I could be wrong, I know nothing about this movie yet. Obviously, it hasn't come out, but that's my best guess, especially based on the concept art I've seen from the cover of this box. There are a few more stickers on the front here, just giving some more like Norse designs, just to make the front of the boat a little more interesting. I appreciate that. It's really cool. Like I said before, the dragon designs here are really cool. I love how they use this horn piece as the mouth design. Very creative. The rest of the boat is very plain on the inside. It's really just a lot of standing room, which honestly makes sense, considering they include 4 minifigures that need to stand in here. And you can also add more if you want to add Meek or anyone else who appears in the movie who didn't appear in this set. The back of the boat is a little more plain. It doesn't have any gaps in it. That's one solid build. It is a little unfortunate. It doesn't really connect, so it's a little loose up there. I would have preferred maybe if there was some other way to kind of hold that together. It doesn't break unless you kind of yank on it, but it does also come apart kind of easily if you do. I really like the Ninjago snakehead pieces used for decoration on the back. That's really cool. And on the underside of the boat, we have a bunch of these really nice 1x1 flat tiles, so you can kind of slide the boat really easily, and it glides very nicely and doesn't have any drag. And it also didn't scratch or rip my background here, so that's really, really nice. You can see a couple of gaps from the bottom, but from the top down, they managed to cover up everything really, really nicely, which usually is something LEGO struggles with, especially when they use these large kind of side pieces. You can always see right through them. This time they managed to fill in the gaps, so that's not an issue, which is super, super cool. Now, the main draw for this set, aside from the boat itself, is going to be the actual cabin, and this is built incredibly intelligently. So you can actually take this and just open it up. Those are on hinge joints, and they completely open and give you access to the full interior. Now, this wouldn't be a LEGO Marvel set if it didn't include a fire extinguisher, and there is one included in there, which is so funny to me that the Asgardians need a fire extinguisher. Totally makes sense. I mean, they live on Earth now. They got to obey the fire code and everything, but it just still cracks me up to see it included. I'm honestly not sure what this is. I'm assuming it's some kind of weapon, but it's just clipped onto the wall here. If anyone knows what weapon or item or object that specific build is supposed to represent, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I am at a loss. Spinning the boat around the other side, we have a bottle of some type of alcohol. There it is, probably for Valkyrie, and then a map of New Asgard, along with one of those dots pieces right there, one of the raised crystals. We saw that in the Doctor Strange set as well. Here's the map of New Asgard. I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it looks really nice, and it's really nice to get this sticker regardless. And it just kind of adds a little bit of needed decoration to the interior of the cabin. There's some grips right here. I guess if you wanted to, you could take maybe Valkyrie's sword when she's not using it and just attach it right there. Same with Mjolnir, or perhaps Null's sword or Korg's weapon. Whatever you wanted to, you could just kind of clip them right there, and then the minifigures don't have to hold their accessories. Those clips are not represented on the other side, only on the back of the boat. That's pretty much all I gotta say for the set. All of the pieces go directly to this and then the goats, which is really nice. There are no unnecessary side builds or anything, which is something I have to praise this set for, because Marvel is usually very, very famous for giving kind of crap builds. Specifically, look at the other Thor Love and Thunder set. It's literally just a weird monster with the 3 minifigures from this set, and I don't know why you'd ever want to buy that because of that. That's really all I got to say for the build. There's no flaws, no issues, no place where I really think there could be any improvement. So shout out to the LEGO Marvel team for honestly making a really solid build here. The box for this set is honestly one of the best looking Marvel boxes I've seen in a very long time. The Bifrost exploding from behind the set in a huge array of colors is an incredibly attractive design, and I just love how it makes the boat really pop. The color scheme is wonderful. The art for Thor and Jane on the side is really cool and gives us honestly one of our first looks at what they actually will look like, considering this was revealed prior to the actual trailer for some reason. The Infinity Saga Greebling is really nice. I love seeing all the characters there. And the goats being front and center just make my day. They're so funny. And then on the top, we just have an actual size for Thor, along with some more of that Greebling and space designs. And then on the back of the box, just kind of showcases everyone fighting the God Butcher over there. I'm really excited to see him in the live action. I think they kind of did Christian Bale dirty with that minifigure, but I'm still really excited to see him. Love the Thor Love and Thunder logo. And then it shows the play feature where you can open and close the actual house. I love that's the only play feature included because it's the only one the set really needed. And then, of course, we have the minifigure versions of the characters on the back of the box. Here's the instruction manual, same cover as the box, Wind Pirate on the back. We have the parts list here, along with no advertisements, which is strange. I thought they would have tried to advertise the $20 set. Probably know it's not going to sell, else they didn't. Since it's the 2022 manual, we have the explosion of stars here, and of course Thor walking across as a progress bar, and explosions whenever you kind of finish a build. Pretty nice. Honestly, that design is growing on me. Not too much else for the manual. No advertisements, which is really weird for a Marvel set. Still a good manual. Overall, this set has to get an 11 out of 10 for me. Not only are 4 of the 5 minifigures legitimately perfect with no possible room for improvement, except maybe that Stormbreaker build, and the build itself is just one solid boat. I mean, the goats, I would have maybe preferred a less goofy and funky looking design, but they still work really, really well, and Eli loves them, so that's always something. The Gore minifigure isn't the best, but he can be really easily improved, like I showed you earlier, with just some pieces from some other Marvel figures that you probably have extras of in your collection or can find elsewhere. I would highly recommend this set for really anyone. Even if you're not a huge Thor fan, just leave off the new Asgard stickers here, and you have yourself a really nice Viking longship that can be repurposed for pretty much anything else. The minifigure parts are also incredibly versatile, and I also cannot wait to see this movie. This set has increased my hype level drastically because it's just showing me so much I want to see in the live action. I want to see those goats. I want to see Gore. I want to see the mighty Thor. Like, that's so cool. But yeah, guys, that's really all I got for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave your thoughts about the Thor movies, this set, and anything else Marvel in the comment section down below. And make sure to stay tuned for some really great reviews coming very, very soon. I'll catch you all in the very next video.